The big thing for us last year, having a fairly young roster, was we got probably 2 years worth of ice time into a lot of our first-year players last year. So I'm hoping that translates this year into accelerating that experience, accelerating the process with our team. We're still quite young, if you look at our crease and our blue line, but all those players picked up some valuable ice time in key situations and certainly understood the pressure of how important every weekend and how every single point is in this league. So we're hoping that translates this year into understanding the intensity it takes each and every game that you play. When you lose your captain, and Xavier Pouliot, and a guy that logged a lot of ice for us on the blue line, then it's going to need to be done by committee a little bit. Connor Sankin's our oldest, most experienced player back there, so certainly going to rely on his guidance and mentorship to try and help the remainder of the 8 defensemen that are either first or second year to raise their level of the game to where it needs to be, especially now that we've moved to the East. Up front, it's going to be hard to replace some of the offense that we lost, and Ben Evanish and Brendan Brown in particular. So we're hoping that Lucas Terrio and Owen Gilhula in particular, who both battled through a lot of injuries and nagging injuries all through last year, will find a way to kind of recapture some of the offensive spark that they showed as first-year players in their junior careers. It's going to be a real battle, I think, amongst the 4 defensemen that came in as to who's going to insert themselves in the lineup every night. They've all shown, exactly what we were hoping to see, and that's mobile defensemen that read the game really well, have good sticks, and are a little bit mean when they need to be. Up front, I think, Keaton Oakley's had a really good preseason. So has Jacob Verugden Hill, and Ethan Streaks battled a little bit of injury, but boy, he brings a lot of spunk when he gets on the ice. The one guy that we've been really happy with and happy for is Jaden McCarthy, who missed all of last year as a medical red shirt due to a knee surgery, and has really looked good in the 3 games he played. So they've all brought something to the table. It's going to be up to us as coaches to see which pieces fit the right puzzle depending on opponent and location and the weekend that we're facing. Well, that happened so late in the process. It's really interesting for us because you recruit and try and build a team to compete in the division that you think you're going to be in long term, which is kind of what we were doing. Teams are built a little bit different in the East. The style of game is a little bit different. So for us, it's a learning process. I think that we need to understand how mature our game needs to be. And that's really been the message throughout the preseason, is just that things that we feel like maybe we could have got away with in the West, although I would still argue that, but from the players' standpoint, things they felt like they could get away with, we will definitely not get away with in the East. High-end talent is maybe a little deeper in the East, and so it's just, as I say, it's just learning to be a little more mature with how we play on the ice. We need to keep things simple, and that's really the type of team that we've been trying to build, are players that will play in straight lines, play with pace, and do simple things, and so that we play the game the right way. That's our only hope. That's our only chance, and that's a tough message sometimes to get across. We're looking to play to our best version. We believe if we do that, the byproduct is that we put ourselves in a position to win. So for us, it's understanding our offense will start with our defensive commitment. Understanding that we can control the pace of the game based on the way we play in the neutral zone, and hoping that we can put teams under duress and create a lot of chaos in the offensive zone with our forechecking and our O-zone play. So those are areas that we're going to look at. We're really going to focus in on the behaviors that you know, kind of drive winning. And that's our focus. We won't really, it's rare that we talk about winning. It's more we talk about doing things the right way. And so for us, that's on the ice. Off the ice, it's just continuing to live with yeoman service in the heart of a lion. That's the only demand that we make on our players. And, you know, we've been lucky enough that most of the players in our program live up to that on a yearly basis. And I'm really confident that this year they're going to knock that out of the park.